One day, a billionaire walked into a high-end restaurant with a close friend. Nothing extravagant was on their mind, just a simple, quiet meal that wouldn't cost much. But the moment they settled into their seats, the waiter leaned over and said, "I should let you know, weekends here are extremely busy and every table has a minimum spend of $2,500. The young woman with him looked visibly uncomfortable. The billionaire didn't flinch. He turned to the waiter and asked quietly, "What does a plate of fried chicken cost here?" $25, the waiter replied. The billionaire nodded slowly and said, "Then bring us 100 plates." The waiter didn't know what to say. He disappeared into the back and returned shortly after with the manager by his side. The manager walked straight up to their table and said with a smile, "Sir, please order freely. The minimum spend does not apply to you." The story doesn't end there. The very next morning, the billionaire was moving through a busy part of town when a woman caught his attention. She was set up on the sidewalk selling caps. He stopped and asked her, "How much are you charging for these caps?" She smiled and said, "Every piece is a fresh new design, $25 each. Can I pick one out for you?" The billionaire studied the display for a moment, then said, "I won't be buying. Honestly, $25 is too steep. People will look and keep walking. If you really want to move these, drop it to $1 each." The woman stiffened. "Excuse me? Do you even know what I paid for these? Each one cost me $6. The billionaire didn't argue. He simply said, "I hear you, but what if I told you there's a way to price these at $1 and still walk away with more money than you're making right now?" That stopped her. The frustration on her face gave way to something else entirely. She wanted to hear more. "Fine, talk," she said. He laid it out plainly. "Right now, you spend $6 per cap and sell at $25. That's a $19 gain. Sounds decent, but the reality is most days either one person buys or nobody does at all. Here is a different approach. Put up a simple sign that says, first cap, $25. Second one, $18. Third one, $12. Fourth one, just $1. Suddenly, buying one cap feels like a bad deal. People will naturally want the value, and they'll buy all four together. She crossed her arms and said, "I'm listening, but I still don't see where the money is." He pulled out a pen. 4 caps cost you $24. Sell them together, and you collect $56. That's a $32 profit from a single customer in one transaction, compared to the $19 you make when someone occasionally picks up just one. Which would you rather have? She stood there quietly for a long moment. Then she said something that stopped him too. "I have been on this street selling caps for 3 years. 3 years. And that thought never once entered my head. Where does thinking like that even come from?" He smiled and answered her simply, "In life, effort will only take you so far. The real difference is in learning to understand how people think and what drives their decisions." Most of the biggest opportunities and the biggest threats in life are buried in the things people never actually say. Schools don't teach it. Workplaces don't train it. But the people who develop that ability, they move differently in business and in life. If you haven't followed the Wealth Code Hub yet, there's a real chance you'll never stumble across us again. But if you just did, good. That's already a sign you think differently. Welcome to your growth.